The Manoogian Mansion Party. You thought the investigation was over? Think again. Rescue 4 has learned state police are on the case again. Tonight, we reveal hundreds of brand new, never-before-seen police documents, and check this out. For the first time ever, people just recently interviewed by the state police about the alleged party are talking exclusively to Local 4, including a police chief from one of our largest cities, who now admits to something no one has ever admitted to before. Stay tuned.
Kwame M. Kilpatrick.
Kwame Kilpatrick has absolutely nothing to hide about any of these allegations.
It's the wildest bash at the mayor's mansion that never happened, or Manoogian mayhem so crazy no one dare come forward to talk about it until now.
A lot of people in my position knew that some unusual event took place or allegedly took place, and I'm not the only one that knows that.
I just happened to be there when the situation was allegedly going down at the hospital.
Tonight, you'll hear their whole story, plus a confrontation with the state attorney general, who's accused of blocking state police from getting to the truth.
Was it ever your intention to go on TV that day to discourage people from coming forward with information?
Rescue 4 is the first news organization to dig through hundreds of new official statements given to the state police. Take a look. Claims that strippers went to the mayor's mansion for a party for Kwame Kilpatrick, that the mayor's wife showed up and was outraged. Reports she attacked and assaulted one of the exotic dancers, that the mayor's executive security staff rushed injured women to the hospital in unmarked SUVs, and that one of the dancers at the mansion was Tamara Green, a high-priced stripper known as Strawberry, the same woman who months later was murdered in a drive-by. Police now describe that as a hit. Wild rumors or true stories? State Attorney General Mike Cox reviewed the reports, conducted his own interviews, and after just 5 weeks, shut the case down.
Do we have evidence of crimes being committed? The answer is no.
Here's new information you didn't know about. State police detectives thought there was more to uncover, so they kept investigating, and they still are to this day. One of their new discoveries, an admission from a big fish in law enforcement, the Southfield police chief. What Chief Joe Thomas recently revealed to state police and to Rescue 4 is something no one has ever admitted to before. The chief says, on the record, he was invited to the alleged Manoogian party.
He said, hey, we're going to have a little surprise for the mayor, whoever that mayor is. And he said, would you like to attend?
No one has ever officially admitted to being invited. Chief Thomas says in state police reports and to Local 4, he refused the invitation because he had a pretty good idea what such a party was going to be like.
Anytime that people mention things to you and you listen to what they say, and you also watch their body language, your body language will say an awful lot to you. And it gave me reason to believe that whatever was going to transpire, that perhaps that I should not be a part of it.
So who invited the Southfield chief? In the official Michigan State Police report, Thomas claims he doesn't remember. He told Rescue 4 he thinks it was a Detroit police officer who was a student in the course he taught.
I don't keep track of things that I do not do. Many people ask me things in my walk of life. I travel all over the country and all over the state. And if I were to try to catalog all those people, and I think it would be just a massive, massive operation.
Chief Thomas was not in Detroit that night, but another man who was recently shared what he witnessed with state police. He agreed to talk, but asked us to conceal his identity because he's afraid of retaliation by his bosses.
I've been interviewed by the state police, and I've been interviewed by you, so it's not over.
He's an ambulance driver who was working the night shift the evening of the alleged party. In this recent state police interview, he says when he arrived at Detroit Receiving Hospital, he spotted a big crowd causing a commotion. He described seeing what he called well-dressed, pimped-out individuals with earpieces. He has no way to know for certain, but says he suspects they were members of the mayor's security staff.
They stand out like sore thumb. They wear earpieces where you can't hear the conversations on the radios, and they're always dressed up a lot better than a standard detective or whatever. And, you know, plus there was the mayor's vehicles, the SUVs. As you can see through the doors of Detroit Receiving, there's a large crowd, a lot of pushing and shoving, a lot of hustling in the private rooms.
He says he suspected something serious was going down. A coworker told him what he overheard in the hallways of the hospital.
Khalida just The quote was, "Beat some down." That's the quote. I said, "Who's that?" "You don't know the mayor's wife?"
He tells police and now Rescue 4 he has no way to know if the story is true. But what happened next, he says, he witnessed firsthand. His supervisor showing up at the hospital, demanding all EMS employees leave immediately. It's something he's never seen happen before or since.
He shuffled out about seven units, making sure we all left the hospital.
It seemed like they didn't want a lot of people around.
Well, quite obvious they didn't want a lot of people around.
If there was nothing to hide, why force all EMS employees out immediately? State police have at least a dozen other people they still want to question, but say powerful people are interfering. If nothing happened that night, why is it so hard for state police to question potential witnesses? Take a look. This state police document says the city law department ordered every Detroit employee and officer not to talk to any investigator about the alleged party unless they're subpoenaed. Did you know this? When state police detectives went to the AG looking for subpoenas, the AG said no. 911 records, hospital records, and interviews with employees all denied. Detectives say it stopped the case cold.
Why would you not want a subpoena to get those records?
That was a decision of my lawyers working on the case, and I support them 100%.
Cox says some requests like those for medical records would have violated the rights of others.
We had already concluded we couldn't find anything else. I have a budget I have to comply with. My attorneys do other things.
But what you don't know, state police detectives keep digging. They believe many witnesses have never come forward because they feared for their safety. But tonight, there's new hope for investigators. Listen to this. 2 years after the case was closed by the AG, Mike Cox is agreeing to turn over all the documents to a new agency.
If for some reason they think, our heart wasn't in it, go to the Wayne County prosecutor.
He tells me he will turn over every single document and tip to the Wayne County prosecutor, who has the power to issue subpoenas, which means potential witnesses who may have been forced to stay quiet will now be able to finally talk.
Have you purged any of these records, or would you have all of the records still intact to turn over?
All the transcripts that were taken under oath, we would turn over to Kim Worthy tomorrow if she asked for it.